When you think of humans, what comes to mind? The old man asked. A flock of his feathered grandchildren gathered around, all paying rapt attention to the ancient sage. War, piped up one fledgling. No, making peace, piped up another. The old sage nodded grimly. Anything else? He asked quietly. Helpers, liars, brave, loyal, cowards. All of these words were thrown out in hopes of catching the sage's ear, but it was not until Freelac, his oldest son's child, spoke softly. Discontented. Did their grandfather react? All true, he said, and stretched his pinion feathers to his grandson. But Freelac has the entire race explained with but a single word. He looked over the young flock gathered at his feet and said, Like most races, ours included, there are humans that are kind. There are some that are wicked, others joyous, and some solemn. But the only trait the humans have in common is that they are discontent. Do humans fly like we do? Do they have wings? No, a chorus of voices answered immediately. Ah, yet they owned the skies. On their world they were bound to the soil beneath their feet, unable to soar on the winds. They saw and envied the avians overhead, wishing for freedom that flight brings. So what did they do? No answer was forthcoming, so he continued. They ripped wood and metal from the ground. They fashioned wings from them and joined the avians in the skies. But still, they were not content. They had to go faster, farther, quieter, and higher. They had joined the feathered masters of the air, but they needed to beat them all. They needed to beat the air itself. Stunned silence greeted his words. He quietly continued. Do humans have gills, like the fish in our waters? No, came the reply, not so loud as before. Yet they mastered the water, did they not? They envied the fish and creatures of the oceans, wishing that they too could breathe the life water provided, and float endlessly upon the bosom of the seas. So they ripped metal and wood from the ground, and forced the ocean to give up its mysteries. They found ways to breathe under the waves, and traveled to depths that would crush the hardiest of ocean-faring denizens. They were not content with swimming and gasping for breath at the tops of the waves. They had to beat the ocean itself. Not a chirp was heard. All the fledglings listened to every word that dripped from the old sage's beak. And then humans looked to the night sky. They were not content with being the masters of their entire world. They wanted new worlds to walk on, to explore, and to bend to their will. A small squawk or two of alarm escaped unbidden form from some of the children. Humans ripped wood and metal from the ground and took to the stars, the sage said. And what did they find there, my children? The old man asked. The Drones, Freelac said quietly with a shudder, as if speaking their name may bring the blight down upon them. Yes, the Drones, the ancient bird replied. Our captors, our slavers, ours and a dozen others. The humans helped us, one small bird piped up, eyes bright. Yes, child, they helped us. When the Drones attempted to enslave the humans, they fought back. The Drones had no idea what they were dealing with. They never fought a race so tenacious, so unforgiving, so discontented with losing before. They never stood a chance. But the humans beat the Drones and were all killed themselves, right? That's what my sire says, chirped one. Letting out a low, soft laugh, the sage said, "Oh, no, child. The humans were not gone for good. Yes, they beat the Drones. Yes, they freed us and all the others. And yes, they were terribly crippled by the war. But before they took leave of us, they promised to return and start a friendship that would span the ages." Feathers ruffled in both fear and delight. "Off to nest now, all of you," the sage said, herding them into the waiting arms of their matrons. "Grandfather," Freelac said, "is that why you step out every night to scan the stars? Do you look for their return, the humans?" Smiling, the old man wrapped his wing around his grandson. "Freelac, you always were the smart egg," he said. "Yes, dear heart, that is why I step out every night, to look for the return of the humans, because I know they will not be content to stay away for long. It is not in their nature. It is not human."